I just realized I made a mistake and broadcast this live to my Facebook wall. We're going to rock with this. It's 7:45 Central, 8:45 Eastern. Right now, we are going to be talking about part 4 of leveling up yourself, really upping those standards. And, I got this comment frozen right here because this came off of yesterday's stream. And this really, really, really captured me. And I really do appreciate for this comment because I got a few more messages and it was talking about, this reality that you're working on, the reality that you would like to see. And oftentimes the reality which you would like to see is something that you can only see. And I just, again, I kind of thought about this and I wanted to take this a bit deeper because, make no mistake, every single day, talking about these things, every single day, Monday through Friday, it's going to be all about taking things to the next level, but it is up to you. And that's why the stream, I was thinking, what is, something that can really put the onus back on people in such a positive way? And it was like you, me, and I. So I'm going to make the most out of these 15 minutes or so that we'll be talking today, that I will be talking today. If you have comments, please ask. Questions, drop some comments. If you have any reflections, don't be afraid to drop a comment. I always try to respond to things as expeditiously. But right now, I'm waking up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And I couldn't help but notice some of the headlines that are out there, all this doom and gloom. And I'm not saying that you should put your head in the sand and act like bad things aren't happening right now. I'm not saying that. I'm not one of these delusional people. I'm not trying to say that, wow, we should clap our hands and stomp our feet and focus strictly on the happy things and ignore everything. No, I'm also not saying that you gratitude yourself to the point where you're almost delusional, because it's great to be to have gratitude. But you also need to make sure that you're still dealing with reality. And the reality is some things are not looking that great for some people, but there are a lot of people winning right now, a lot of people, but they're not talking about that. That's not salacious enough. That's not, catchy enough. But I think, diving into it, I think people need to, I know this, that we got to recognize we got a really big choice here. And that's what life is about. Choices, decisions, and what you do and what decisions you make when those choices present themselves. And the big choice that everybody has to do with when it comes to raising your standard and elevating, that reality you would like to see is you got to make a decision. Is this a recession? Is this the beginning of doom and gloom? Or is this the genesis? Is this the beginning of something else? Because there's a whole psychology behind changing. There's a whole psychology about starting something new as well. And for some of us, it's about sitting back and recognizing that, hey, what am I doing with what I have? I talked yesterday about how some of us are so focused on just trying to learn, but you're not doing anything with it. It's great that you're intelligent. It's great that you have all this access to knowledge, but if you're not doing nothing with it, what is really happening? I said that this series is building towards something. Yes, because as we're working on building ourselves, guess what the big topic is going to be for the next couple of weeks? It's relationships. And I always start with the person, the you, me, and I. I always start there because that is up to you. You cannot come to a person. I strongly suggest that you don't do things like this and then say, I have all the potential in the world. Just take me as I am. That can work for a time, but no one's going to see it until you bring it into reality. You can have such great ideas. You can have these great concepts, but if you're not doing anything with it, you can't expect another person to help you do it. It is great and it is wonderful when you find those people. And there are some amazing people out there. I know that. I know that firsthand. I've worked with a lot of really amazing clients and you know who you are. But that's not the majority. That's not. But right now, all of us have this chance where we can start working on ourselves. We can start looking at things differently. No, I'm not trying to say that you have to go out and build a skyscraper. But what are you doing to build yourself up every single day? Some of the biggest things that I do see, and maybe you might be doing this, and I'm strongly suggesting that you stop, is, you got to look at your life as something that you have a lot of control of. No, you do not control what happens to you in life, but you control your responses to things. And I want to repeat this. You control your responses to things. Life does not owe you any favors. It does not. Your triggers are your triggers. Your reactions are your reactions. It's up to you to manage those things. But there are so many great opportunities out here right now. Even as I do this stream, I would have never done this before, but it's an opportunity for me, right? I don't like being on camera, but you know what? I got past that. I'm willing to get uncomfortable to be better. The big issue that people have is people don't think they're supposed to have problems. Problems aren't the problem. Who said this? Pirates of the Caribbean. The problem is not the problem. The problem is your attitude towards the problem. How many times have you thought it never could be done? How many times did you think, oh my God, this is impossible? And then all of a sudden you start having fun with it, and then you figure things out. Because this is one of the psychologies of starting something new. This is psychology behind change. Is children don't even think about these things. Adults, we do. We forget that you can start having a lot of fun with these things. Yes, I know people have serious things going on, but I also know people get past serious things too. One of the reasons why my success rate is so high is because the way it's a game, it's a way of looking at it just like a child. And that is the key that we keep forgetting. Children don't get caught up in so many problems. What they do is they just explore what if, what could. As adults, we start asking why questions. Why questions will shut you down faster than anything you could believe. Anything you could believe. Any of my clients know, do not ask why questions. Why? Because it will take you away from what you need to do in most cases and not put you into a place of how. How can I start doing this now? What are some different ways I can start approaching this? When you start asking, well, why is this happening to me? That brain will start all of a sudden saying, well, that happened because when I fell off my bike when I was 16 years old. Sure, that could be a reason. I'm not here to argue that. I'm not. But I'm here, what my big focus is on the solution focus. What am I going to do to get by this? What am I going to do to make sure that I've just worked on myself so much that what I want, that person that I'm attracted to, is going to say, wow, I love that mentality in a person. I love the way that you face adversity. I love the way that you figured out a way to be resilient and handle life. And we forget these things because we forget that we are still children. Play with this life. Have fun with these things. That's what's incredibly attractive to success and to other partners. And if you have a partner, when you're around someone who's just like, wow, they just take the punches and roll with it. And it's not just because I'm sitting back saying, oh, life is a game, life is a joke. No, life is whatever you make it. But you, and that's why you, me, and I is such a powerful thing here. It's up to you. It's not up to anybody else. But we have two huge choices right now we have to make. Is this a big problem or is this a big beginning for me? I've always said this is a big beginning. Things that have happened to my life personally and professionally, it does catch you on the blind side. It does get you down, but it's not there to keep you down. I had to change. I had to evolve. And the next big decision is this, are you willing to go all in on these things? Or are you willing to go all in on the complaining or go all in on the solution? But that is up to you. When I start diving into the relationship next week, it's going to annoy some people because I am not going to pull any punches. This is not about judging people. This is not about saying what's wrong with you, but this is saying, you know that there's a problem. You know that you got to make some adjustments. I'll be pulling out lots of blind spots with some people. Blind spots are amazing. The thing about blind spots is this: you can only have a blind spot one time because after that, it's a choice. It is a choice, and no matter what, it all falls back on you. But that's where the fun can really start beginning. I want everybody to start looking at this day, start saying, what fun can I start having with this? When you have fun with it, you get past things so much easier. I don't know where in our lives we decided that we are not allowed to dance with this life. Are you going to complain that it's raining or are you going to go get an umbrella? That's up to you. Yet again, a decision that you have to make. Are you upset that it's raining, but you like green grass? You can't have both. Because if it's not raining, the grass ain't going to be green. You got to have those things. And so sometimes we got to, what I'm really challenging people is change your perception. Change some of your perceptions here. You got the power to do this. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to answer them. But look back and see, what can I do today? How can I create a better response to some of the things that have happened to me? Who is someone that I can look towards who give me that strength and encouragement? Life is about choices, life is about decisions, and life is about having fun too. Don't forget to have fun. Fun and people are very attractive. One of the biggest examples I'm always using, and I'm totally fanboying over this, say what you want, but like someone like The Rock. I'm always thinking like someone like The Rock. It's not necessarily his stature, but it's just that energy that you get from him. It's just like, man, I want to hang around that. You can literally be just like that. It's not copying him, but it's looking at life. And I don't know the guy, and I'm not one of those people that's like, oh gosh, I want to meet him. But I can't help but pay attention to a lot of the clues that are left there. Man, this guy's always smiling. He seems to have a great disposition. I want to be around him. I want to hang out with him. That can be you. It can be. It really can be. But you got to be willing to take the risk. And the risk here is considering that there could be a better way of handling things. Handle life better. Practice it. You have practiced having a bad day. When you're laying in the bed, you are practicing thinking you're going to get stuck in traffic if you commute. A lot of us now working from home. You practice getting an argument with your partner because they left something out in the stove and you can't believe they left it out. You practice these things. It didn't even happen for most of us, but you are practicing it. Because by you thinking about what could go wrong, you're also saying, oh man, let me prepare my nervous system. Well, if you're going to be doing all that every single day, and if you are doing that, then you can do the same exact thing in a positive. Today, I'm going to walk downstairs and there's nothing going to be on the stove. And if there is, guess what? I'm so happy that we have detergent that we can wash it. If I am stuck in traffic or I am frustrated because I'm trying to get on my Zoom calls, or if I'm thinking I'm going to be frustrated, what happens if all of a sudden, when you're getting ready to get on that call, all of a sudden people are excited to see you. You don't have this grouchy face on or something like that. People call that resting bitch face. Or if you are in traffic and you're frustrated, you don't know what's happening 5 to 6 cars ahead. You don't know if someone's in labor. You don't. You don't know if someone's just having a moment where they need a few seconds. Because how many times you've been mad at someone and you get closer, you're like, oh man. And then you just feel guilty, right? But just as fast as what I'm getting at is you practice being angry. You can practice being happy. You can practice being excited. But you can also practice having fun. Go out there, have more fun with your life, and take more responsibility for you. You can't control what happens, but you can control your response to it. That is where the real standards start kicking in. Because as you recognize that I'm feeling some things, but that's not who I am. Because here's something else that people forget. You are not your emotions. They are just a response to things, but how you act on those is where the big power is. Another way of saying this is you have fingernails. You have fingernails, but you're not fingernails. You have anger, but you're not anger. You might have some doubts, but you are not doubt. It's a choice. Take care of you, manage you, and you can sit back and just say, wow, how did I have fun with this? How did I practice getting a better result? It's practice, it's having fun, but it's also taking ownership of these things every single day. I'm going to see you all tomorrow. We're going to wrap this up because next week we're going to be talking about relationships. We're going to be diving in. I'm also going to have some few guests here who are going to be giving a different perspective. I want everybody to have a great day. I want everybody to go out there and do the things that light them up. But don't forget, every day, 8:45 Eastern, 7:45 Central, bringing you happy every single day. Health, happiness, and everything in between. I'll see you all tomorrow. Boom.